fields of our paths, feelings part our ways, keeping us close but estranged now. Dreams holding us closer, meadows of our youth, 107 days, we're calling it backwards.
All right, I mentioned that after I got this connected all back up using the new Quick Connects, and after we had a little bit of sun, I would do a follow-up. Here's the Dokio 100-watt solar panels. Before I had them laying on the ground, and that was just a quick setup, but they do have some legs that come with it, which they're set up right now, so I'll show you that. Here is the solar panels set up, and as you can see, looking right at the sun. Put your sunglasses on. We have more sun now, so that's good. And so what I've got is I bought a little pigtail SAE Quick Connect right there, and you can see that that's connected to a 25-foot SAE Quick Connect, and these are 14 gauge. What I did not account for is how I was going to attach that surface mount, and the issue is you have to drill a hole somewhere for it to fit flush. But anyways, it's all connected, and I showed you the wires before on that. It's working out pretty well. So it's tidied up. I don't know if I'll leave it that way. What I did is I put a block of wood behind that so that my screws could attach to it. So that way it wouldn't be poking into the batteries. And I made sure that it didn't go beyond the wood. What I wanted to show you now is the voltage output after I had the SAE Quick Connects set up and connected. These are rated at 14 gauge, which has a max amperage of 15 amps. So you could, if you wanted to, you could connect 2 solar panels to this and it would be perfectly fine, even with the MPPT controller, but you really wouldn't want to go much more than that. I don't really have much control over a lot of the things, but what I do have control over is the float charge. And so here is the main screen on the Dokio PWM solar charge controller. This is the main screen, and what I've found is it regulates a max of 14.4 volts going out. If we go through the menus, we can look at, and I went past it, I guess you'll get to see the rest of these menu options. That's B01 is lead acid batteries. So if we go back to the main screen here, I'll actually put a screenshot of the menu up. So once I get to this screen right here, this is showing you the float. So if I press and hold this button, we see this blinking. I've already set this, but you can bring this voltage down or up. And again, this is your float charge. And so it won't charge once the battery reaches the voltage level of 13.5. Or if it does, it's going to trickle charge and just keep it maintained at 13.5. So it's kind of nice that it at least has that. The manual claims this is a 4-stage charge controller, so it should do all 4 stages. But I don't really have much control over anything else other than the float. So anyways, I just show you that. Here is the pigtail ears of the SAE Quick Connect, and I've just got it connected there. This replaced the standard alligator clips, which connects to the battery. And what I do is I use this to connect to the extension cord that goes to my RV, and I'll show you that in just a second as well. But what I'm going to show you now is the voltage coming out of the solar panels, and then I'm going to also show you the voltage coming out of the SAE, and then I'm going to put the extension on there too. This has a rating of open circuit at 22.5, and as I mentioned, the charge controller regulates that to a max of 14.4. So let's just check to see right at the terminals if I can get the 22.5 or how close we can get, and we'll go from there. So I've got this going up in there where the solar panels connect, and it's completely dependent upon how much sun, of course. But we can see that it's outputting 20.4, so pretty close. I did this earlier and I was upwards of 21.6, somewhere in that neighborhood, which is pretty close to the specs. And it's pretty late in the evening and the sun is going down, so obviously it's dependent upon the sun. Right now I have the voltmeter connected and testing the connections right at the charge controller, and we have a 14.3, which is pretty close to what I said. I've only seen this thing max out at 14.4 coming out of the charge controller, and that's about what we're getting right now. And as you can see, the sun is peeking through those trees, so we're not getting maximum sun. Pretty darn close though. This is about 1.5 to 2 foot pigtail, and just as I mentioned, we're still right at about 14.4, so we're getting 14.3. And again, exactly what we got out of the PWM. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the 25 foot 14 gauge SAE Quick Connect, and we'll test from there as well. And what we have is the same exact output. So even at 25 foot extension, we really haven't lost any volts, which is great. And I think that's in large part because we have a 14 gauge copper based SAE Quick Connect. Now I've had that connected to the RV, and I've seen it output up to about 5.2 volts. So, or I'm sorry, 5.2 amps. So we're not really losing much amps over that 25 foot run either. I'll put a little clip on there just so you can see that that's outputting that. So the 14.4 regulation is pretty consistent with batteries. So our RV battery controller, I think, outputs at 14.82 on bulk mode. So at 14.4, we're not too far off on voltage. The only difference is we're pretty low on amps, but this is a 100 watt solar charger, so I can't really expect it to be much more than what the specs say, which is 5.6, I think is what that sticker says. So I'm getting pretty close to what this will produce. You're always going to lose about 20 to 25% of its potential right out of the gates with one of these PWM controllers. So far so good. The other day when I ran this, I was down to 80% on the battery, and I did that on purpose. I kept it unplugged for a few days and ran quite a few appliances, fans and the lights and things like that to get the battery down. And when I had it connected at the beginning of the day around 7:30 in the morning, it was about 80.5%. And after letting it run for the day, got it up to pretty close to 90%. Pretty good considering it's just a 100 watt solar panel. I'm not expecting it to work miracles because we're really not able to output a whole lot. But all in all, for about $160 investment, I think it accomplished what I wanted it to do. So I hope this helps you out. If you have any suggestions that might help this setup a little better, please do leave them in the comment section. Or if you have any questions on anything I didn't already cover, please also leave that in the comment section. And if you want to see other videos similar to this, please also leave those in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks.